Well, it's been a great night. The Detroit Lions dominate on the road at Tampa Bay, but we're talking college football here tonight. Michigan is number one, just like the Lions are in the NFC and actually the entire NFL with their record. That's right, Michigan is number one in both professional and college right now. Bring it on. There's no reason to drop Michigan from last week. Who is better? Who's better than Michigan? 7 straight blowouts and no more than 10 points allowed defensively. And that was a road victory versus Minnesota where they scored 10 points, but we scored 52. UNLV is a 5-1 team. Rutgers is 5-2. And not too shabby. Minnesota and Nebraska are 3-3 each, but that's not what we're talking about here for Michigan. It's not the wins that they have, it is the results. The defense is elite, and the offense is unpredictable no matter who they play going forward. Number 2 is Georgia, of course, 7-0 as well. It wasn't pretty, but they won at Vanderbilt 37-20. I hope Bowers is healthy for them. I hope he's going to be okay. A win is a win. So Georgia stays at number 2 as well. 24 straight wins. They're like Michigan, waiting for someone serious that wants to take them on. Youth is kind of showing up for Georgia here, the depth a little bit. Culture, though, is still there. They find a way to win these games. Number 3 is Florida State, same as last week as well. No reason to move them down. 6-0. They finally destroyed a lesser opponent, so they stay at number 3 for me. Number 4 is Oklahoma. Still, they were good enough to beat Texas in a neutral site at the Texas State Fair, right? Is what it always is. Gabriel, everything looked good. Both of them teams had a bye this week. They both play some opponents this upcoming week. Texas might actually play a good one. Oklahoma, I think they're going to be at number 4 next week. So, number 5, it depends on number 5 and number 7 who are playing this week. Penn State is number 5 for me. 6-0. Penn State is at Ohio State this week. We will learn a lot about Penn State and Ohio State coming up. Number 6, right in between for me, is Texas still. 5-1. No reason to drop them. All these teams are still the same from last week for me. They are apparently a complete team. They will get another shot at Oklahoma at the end of the season too, so no doubt there, in my opinion. Number 7 is Ohio State, 6-0. They didn't get blown out by Purdue, so something's going right for Ohio State this season. They stay right where they were at number 7 from last week. Penn State and Ohio State is going to be a huge game this week, just like Washington and Oregon was last week. And you'll see where I have them 2 teams ranked here. Not as high as Alabama. I have Alabama moving up 1 spot from last week because Oregon, lost. So they moved down. Alabama moved up. They have the wins versus Ole Miss and some others. It was a close game versus Arkansas, but I wish they would do better there. But I just think they are still a better team than Washington. And Washington, with Michael Penix, is really good. They are number 9 for me. They moved up 1 spot from number 10, 6-0, and they won They won a thriller versus Oregon. It was an amazing game. It was a field goal miss away from overtime for Oregon. I wish that he would have made that. Not only because I picked Oregon to win the game, and it would have given them a chance, but just because it would have been an even better game. But it didn't need to be better. It was great in the regular time. So Washington won that game. They move up 1 spot. Notre Dame is not in the top 10. That would be Oregon. I thought maybe Oregon is number 11, Notre Dame number 10. Notre Dame is 6-2 though. They have the 2 losses. They are one win away from being a 1-loss team as well. Right at the end versus Ohio State at home. They have 2 losses, but only one was bad, and it was a bad one at Louisville. So Notre Dame is number 11. Oregon is number 10. 5-1. Oregon stays in because it was a valiant effort. On the road versus a rival. Like I said, only a field goal away from winning that game. I give the benefit of the doubt to these losers that played somebody, and it was pretty close. So that's why you are ahead of Notre Dame, who is at number 11, and obviously USC is below them because of the head-to-head for me. So there you have it. Who's going to beat Michigan and Georgia? Can Florida State, can Oklahoma, Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Washington, Oregon, Notre Dame. Notre Dame can't because they already have 2 losses and they're not going to make the playoffs, so they can't beat Michigan or Georgia. But any of these other teams could, and the games each week are going to get better and better going forward. I can't wait. Michigan is at Michigan State this coming week. Stay tuned for my preview for that game and my picks for the upcoming week. Last week wasn't so good. 3-3 on my picked games, so 500 there. Hopefully I can get better. Coming off a 12-2 week, I should have stuck with my my poll that I did on the community tab, asking people who's going to win by more, Michigan or Georgia. It turned out to be Michigan. I had Michigan not covering, well, I had them covering the spread, but I didn't bet it, and I had Georgia covering the spread, and I bet it. I should have flipped those. Why didn't I take my own advice? Oh, what a great game from the Lions tonight. My voice is going, so I will leave you at that. Thanks, everybody. Like the video, subscribe, and have a great night out there. But go blue.